Let's just continuing on. Knowing the fact that I know that you're angry about stuff that's going on. I know that I'm angry about stuff that's going on. I know there are a lot of individuals who are just angry about stuff that's going on. What can we do right now? What are some ideas that we can do? I mean, we see even some of the good ideas that people are trying to do are sort of being distorted. They're being derailed, if you will, and they're being moved into other things. So what's some things, maybe ideas that you have, ideas maybe that I have, that we can do to say, I'm not okay with this that's going on right now?
I like that question. And I would say I would love to start with being able to create partnerships, being able to create forums and dialogue that allows Justin and Steve or Steve and whoever to get together to say, you know what, Justin, tell me exactly how you feel about this situation. Steve, tell me exactly how you feel, unfiltered. Tell me exactly how you feel about this situation, because I don't think we can sympathize or have compassion when we don't understand where someone is coming from or what they're dealing with. I give you an example. I could remember being 18 years old. I could remember being pulled over, and I'm from Mississippi. I won't even get into a lot of things there, but I would just say out at a neighboring city, headed to school, and I remember getting pulled over, and wasn't speeding. I don't think I was breaking any laws or doing anything wrong. I was pulled over. I was in my dad's truck, and I was asked some really, really harsh questions. And I remember not knowing how to feel. I could remember not even wanting to tell my family because I didn't want a response. I was trying to figure out, what did I do wrong to put myself in this position, even though I knew I didn't do anything wrong. And I remember getting to school and having a roommate. He was actually from up north. This is my freshman year of college, and I remember him telling me, he's like, that should never happen. And he was kept going on and on, but he said, Steve, tell me how you feel. And by me explaining to him how I felt, it allowed him to understand so much more about me, and it created a bond and a relationship that allowed me to create trust. And so when he started going through things, I could sympathize with him because we had a foundation that was built on trust and understanding. And I believe one of the first things that we have to do in order to create change, because we are so angry and people are dealing with tough issues, we have to form bonds, and we have to be able to create friendships and open dialogue so we can get to truth.
Yeah. And I shared the story with you yesterday that, yeah, even myself, I've been profiled before. I mean, you're looking at me, my hair is actually shorter now because I just cut over 13 inches and donated for the Wigs for Kids and things. But, I've been profiled before and pulled over and stuff. But thing that I shared with Steve is that I can change my hair. I could shave my head, I could do whatever I needed to, but we're dealing with issues where an individual can't change the color of the skin or how they were born, if you will. That's beyond any of our control. And then I've been in other countries where, yes, I've experienced some levels of racism, but guess what? I get to pack my stuff back up and leave and come back home. And so, again, we're dealing with stuff in situations where people don't have those particular options that I've had whenever I've experienced this type of stuff. And I think that, when I ask the question, what can we do right now? I think that there are a lot of individuals that want to do something and don't know what they can do.
That is a great point. Not to cut you off, I'll share this. There are situations with people that I grew up with from all different races that they care so much about the issues that we're dealing with, but they don't know how to respond. They don't know how far to go. Steve, what can I say? Do I use my social media platform as a way to speak against these things? Do I participate in this? Steve, what do I do? And I think and that's a deeper issue. But what I will say, when we get a chance to have open dialogue, or we create groups that are very diverse, because he and I both, we are really big on diversity and being able to voice opinions and be honest. When you get a chance to have those type of forums, it allows us to be able to find ways that you can help, find ways that you can stand beside your brother and sister when they're going through extremely tough things. Because some people do care, they just don't know what to do, and that's a great point.
Yeah, and we talk about social media, and as powerful a platform as it is, and it can truly be used for either good or evil. It really can. But if I would strongly encourage you to reach out to an individual. If you can't physically go and visit them, we know that there's still some social distancing that's in place, which I think is still part of the problem that's going on, is we've been so socially distant for so long, and not just with the COVID-19, but just in life. And I think that the social media has sort of helped increase that. We're so connected that we're disconnected, if you will. I think we should not neglect the open lines of communication. The fact that I can pick up my phone, I can call and talk to you, I can talk to some of my other friends of other races, of other ethnicities, if you will, or to sit down and talk. And I think that really starts to break down conceptions, and misbeliefs, misgivings that we have to listen to someone else. And even though you and I have similar but different backgrounds, we're a little more alike than we realized when we first started talking with each other. We're like, wow, we have a lot in common, even though we grew up in a lot of different places. But to realize that there are commonalities amongst us. 100%. And I would dare say that if we really strip things down and get to it, we would find there are more common things 100%. That connect us than things that disconnect us.
Yes, and even when we see things that are different, I believe for us that are believers, the common denominator should be the Word of God. And when Jesus Christ is our foundation, I just choose to believe that we find a way to do what's right. We find a way to stand. We find a way to make a difference. And I want to go to something that you said that really means a lot to me. When you're able to talk and create friendships with people that look differently than you, a lot of things that are made out of perceptions or whatever the case may be, you get a chance to really see someone for who they really are. And for Justin and I consider him a brother. And the main reason we have a great relationship, it's not because we always agree. It's because we have great dialogue. And that great dialogue allows us to have a healthy and great respect for where he stands and for where I stand. And I think we need more relationships like that, but also we need to sometimes make those relationships visible for others to be able to see. Because sometimes I believe people want to do what's right, and they talk about those things privately. But when it comes to voicing them publicly, I don't want to say people don't have the courage to do it, but sometimes I think they worry about the repercussions of certain relationships or certain topics if they speak on them openly. And I think we're living in a time where we're going to have to make some of those tough decisions on where we stand on certain issues.
And I think there's a lot of presumptions out there, presuming how you feel, presuming how I feel in this situation. And we can end a lot of that with the simple question, how do you feel? And then just listening. It's not, if I'm asking him how he feels, it's not about how I feel, it's about how he feels, because that's who I asked. If he wants to know how I feel, he'll ask me how I feel. There may be times and opportunities for me to share it, but if you're going to be genuine with this, then it's a genuine question, and it's a genuine listening. It's not just a lip service thing. There are a lot of individuals that maybe are saying the right things, but they're just sort of going through the motions and not really living that action, if you will. Yes. I see that as a little bit of thing. So, we would encourage you guys to connect with one another. We would encourage you to reach out with one another. I would encourage you to think more than twice before you post things on social media. One or two minor mistakes.
Catastrophic.
A momentary, I'm angry, let me respond, somebody's going to screenshot that and somebody's going to hold that against you. And you know, while it may have been a momentary chink in your character, it may end up defining how others view you for a very long time. So you have to guard yourself. You have to be careful during these sort of times. And you know, I don't think either of us are saying don't be who you are, but we are saying that maybe press pause, think about it, write it down, and before you hit post,
that's right.
Is this benefiting me, or is this benefiting anybody else, or is this just a knee-jerk reaction? I can't tell you how many times that I've been frustrated or upset or angry, and I'll write a text or I'll type out a thought on social media and then delete.
Yes.
You know, and in my past at different jobs, I have resigned from so many jobs, Steve. I have resigned from more jobs than I've actually had because I never turn those letters in, you know, because it's just moments and I'm like, I can't put up with this anymore. Let me type all this out. And here's my list of complaints. And then I give it a day or 2 days and I say, do I still feel that way? And I'm like, no, you know, God's sort of changed my mind. I'm glad I was able to get that out, rip, throw it in the trash and let me move on. Let me grow from it.
That's right.
You know, and try and ask what I was learning from this.